Latinos are from the U.S., like, we're the largest minority. We didn't all just come, last week. We've been here. So it's just ignorance.
I super hear that because, like, I remember on my third day in my first school here in the U.S., this kid in the locker room was like, so what part of Mexico is Colombia in? And I was just like, so for my third world country, they teach us the effing world, but out here, apparently in like the Silicon Valley, you guys don't get a map.
I feel comfortable speaking my native language in public. 3, 2, 1, go.
You bet.
Since I've moved to the Bay, I've had Mexican, Salvadorian, and Honduran parents and students literally act as if they don't understand me because I speak in a Black Spanish vernacular. I'm just at the point where I'm just like, I'm tired of like acting as if our language is uneducated or acting as if our language is like, comes from nothing. Our language comes from literally everything.
Even though I'm not fluent in Spanish, I'm conversational, I still speak it at work, like, and all my customers, they come to me relieved, like, when they find out that I can communicate to them in Spanish. And even though I'm not fluent, I do, however, see a little dishonor, kind of, when I go visit family.
Well, I mean, like, for me, in my experience, I kind of had the same thing where I grew up speaking Spanish, and then I went to school, lost it, and then I've regained it as I've gotten older. But like for me, I live in a fairly conservative area.
Same.
Like people have Confederacy tattoos. It can be really intense, you know what I mean? And for me, there is still a little bit of that fear.
I love the instant affinity you have with people, especially, I'm getting a little emotional about it. Like people who have left everything to come here and they're not even seen. And when I speak to them in Spanish, I feel that they feel seen for the first time. And even though we're not from the same country, we don't have the same experiences, I just feel like I have to, and I feel so blessed that I can speak Spanish. I just hope like we just honor our roots, and not just Spanish, but like you said, there's a lot of native languages that we should honor and we should practice.
The word Latinx is offensive to me. 3, 2, 1, go.
I kind of like have a bigger problem with the word Hispanic. While I'm not in love with the word Latinx, like I really do love that it's inclusive of all genders. I'm waiting for the point where there will be another term because it just doesn't sit right.
So I call myself a Latina. I'm proud to be a Latina. Now, I have very dear friends who are non-binary, and they request that I call them Latinx. Of course, I'm going to honor that, and I am glad that there is a term that they embrace, but I don't think I should have to change mine.
I think people are gonna call themselves what they want, and they've been doing that forever. I think it's the fact that when we say Latino or Latina, we are excluding trans people in our language. Like, our language is powerful, and I think that, I know what you're saying because I've had this conversation with like my parents and my aunts. Like, it's worth a tiny bit of discomfort to include trans people.
Spanking your child is not child.
Oh man.
3, 2, 1, go.
How hard?
Exactly.
I think that's the thing, that we gotta talk about that.
Oh man.
Oof, my parents are not gonna like that I went right here.
I am a teacher. Like, Latinos are, at least my Latino parents that I see in my schools, are so quick to like, the kid could just say something back, like finish a sentence for the parent. The parent is like, blah, dale un manoplazo en la cara. And it's like, but why though? Because I see this other kid who's white and is out here wilding.
I spanked my kids maybe twice their whole life, a little bit. It wasn't even like that much. I remember the one time my mom spanked me and it stayed with me. I don't recommend it. I'm not here like, oh, pro spanking, but I think it should be, it's somebody's right to a certain point.
I think that some of you know, my family members who haven't had the privileges of education and the kind of lifestyle that I have don't have that space. Because I remember when I first got to the US, like in Colombia, like one, we're a very violent country. And I think a lot of what we see is just that being replicated into our families. But there was a certain point where my mom was gonna smack me like that. Like I would like talk back to her and and when I was like 13, I just grabbed her hand midair one time. And I was like, you know, we're not doing it like this anymore. And I think a lot of that was coming from my American side.
Spanking to me is a tool that is easiest. It's like if they're old enough to have a conversation about what they did wrong, then have the conversation. And if they're not old enough to understand what they did wrong, then why would you hit them?
Spanking is the hardest thing to do. I agree with you, but spanking is the hardest thing to do.
I feel connected with my culture. 3, 2, 1, go.
You guys remember in the movie Selena when they're in the van and Abraham is talking to Selena, you know, and he's saying like being Mexican American is hard. You know, you have to be twice as Mexican for the Mexicans, twice as American for the Americans. You know, and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And that's more or less where I am right now. And that's why I moved completely away from national identities. Like, that's why I don't identify as Mexican, because to Mexicans who are from Mexico, I'm not Mexican enough.
That's another thing that I also have an issue with is just because I'm paler, I'm güera, I get thrown into that white supremacist kind of category that no one really likes. And that literally, it destroys me mentally. Like, it's just no one has the right to tell you what you are or assume what you are, and it's really just frustrating.
I really like that you bring up that point because I think as a community we need to do a lot of work around that, in the sense that I have noticed in my own experience how me having light skin has definitely yielded me different results, or I've been able to push different boundaries of I've had different access.
Because we do have a lot of things in common. You know, as a people, we have, I know it's not just language, because if you don't speak Spanish, you're still gonna be fully embracive of the culture. So I just love finding those commonalities between different, you know, nationalities. It makes me happy.
Damn.
I've enjoyed our group hug.
Thank you so much.
Hey guys, my name is Michael.
I'm Ian.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Spectrum. It's so amazing to see where people will stand on the lines.
Michael's the director of all the Spectrum episodes you've ever seen in your life.
You know, someone told me today that I have a really good voice.
Really? That's great. In the process of making Spectrum as a series, what do you think is something you've learned or something that's changed within you?
Oh, every time I do this series, I learn something new, but the biggest thing I learned is like, no, everyone doesn't think the same.
Thank you for watching, you guys. Follow us on Instagram at Jubilee Media. We post a lot of different kind of stuff for you guys, and we also love just interacting with you and hearing your opinions and epiphanies and your stories and all that kind of stuff. We have so much more that we want to give to you guys, so yeah, follow us on everywhere.
Everywhere.
And we'll see you around.
See ya.
Bye.